Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for watching us on channel 347. Now, you might have noticed, especially in the Western Cape and surrounding areas, that there's quite a bit of wet and stormy weather, which means a lot of people are displaced and also go hungry because they've had severe storm damage. Now, there are various NPOs that help, especially during this time, but other NPOs that help during the year and consistently ensure that our community is fed and taken care of. One such organization is Alcardo Andrews Foundation, and we've invited the organization guest in studio. But before I get there, our guest that always joins me, Gakeemah Solomons. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thanks. Thanks for coming back into studio and also inviting Zaida Andrews. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Now, it's been an absolute pleasure learning about your organization because you do so much great work in and around Cape Town. But for those that don't know about the Alcardo Andrews Foundation, give us a bit of history. How did this all come together?
Okay, so how it started actually is that our devil's son, Alcardo, he worked with young boys, young men in the community.
Okay.
He used to have his small groups. We sat with him, spoke to them. They would read the Bible together.
Okay.
He sometimes even emptied the cupboards, fridge, to give them for them to have something to eat.
Right.
In 2015, he was gunned down.
Oh no.
And from the Ontario didn't know should she continue with what he started or should it just lay down.
But there was more of a need for this to continue.
And there was a lot of need. And then that is where the organization actually grew from, gave birth from. So we started in 2016 with our feeding scheme.
Okay.
So that is where we started feeding the community.
And which area in Cape Town are you based?
In Hanover Park.
Okay. Which is an area that's quite challenged with various things on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. So an organization like yourselves provides a need to assist.
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right. So beside feeding schemes, what else do you guys do?
So we have a program where we run with kids, which called the Com Kids / Youth for Purpose.
Right.
We have the fatherhood program, the Moms Move for Justice, and the feeding scheme.
Okay. Gakeemah, and I'm sure, we live in the community. We notice wonderful organizations like this that make a difference and that add to the betterment of our youth, but also adults as well.
Well, the need for me, specifically listening to the entire topic that she's raising, was more the kids come and the fatherhood programs that I'm much more interested in, purely because that was one of the I think much more in the community that is needed, which is in Hanover Park. They do some external work, and also the fact that they reach out to teenagers and teenagers coming to their door asking for some help. So
nice. Yeah. So expand and tell us about let's look at the Com Kids project. What was the need? How did you identify that you needed to build up a project like this?
The Com Kids is actually called Com Kids because we work with the communities, kids.
Okay.
So the need for them was that kids can't read, they can't write. There was a struggle. They also needed attention, support. They needed meals to eat.
Okay.
And we serve them with those needs.
Okay.
So we have an after-school program where the kids come and we will assist with homework, reading, and we do workshops with the kids as well. We do gender-based violence workshops. We do self-esteem workshops, life skill workshops. So we empower the kids to empower themselves and to uplift themselves.
Okay. And how long do these programs take? I mean, take us through a typical project or program and maybe unpack some of the projects that you utilize to ensure that these kids feel a bit better when they leave your organization.
It's a bit challenging there because when the kids come to the organization, so we have them twice, thrice a week.
Okay.
And because of the love and support that they get from us, when it's time for them to leave, their faces change. Because so now they need to go back home into that environment that is unpleasant.
Right. Okay. But expand the project for us. What are some of the tools that you utilize in your project? What do you do with them?
Okay, so we do arts and crafts. So that is we kids they do painting when they express themselves. Because some of them they're not very like vocal to speak or to say how they're feeling. And we also with the workshops that we do, like the GBV workshop, some of the kids don't even know what GBV is, and some of them also never knew that what they were going through was all part of GBV, was part of abuse. So because whatever's happening in the home, they are used to that. So it's like a norm.
It's a coping mechanism,
yes,
basically, just to get on with life.
Yes, and when you speak about when you speak about a issue or something that happened, and you may be speaking one-on-one, like we have one-on-one, so we will speak to them and they will open up, and it's maybe so severe they don't know how to cope with it. And some of the kids will laugh. So that is their way of
dealing with it.
What are the ages of children that comes to your organization most of the time, and what are the struggles that they, besides obviously the homes not being, well, you're saying they're going back to a home that they might not want to be at, and obviously coming to the organization for help. What are the ages like?
Okay, so most of our kids is from the age of 12 years old. We do have some younger kids, but from the age of 12 years old up, that is where most of the kids is struggling. So they come from broken homes where there's no father figure. Sometimes there's no mother figure. Sometimes the parents is there, but they're not physically, emotionally, they're not there for the kids. So when they come to us, we support them, we show them love, we treat them with respect. We also teach them like children have rights. And some of the kids they come and they say they don't have toiletries, they don't have underwear, clothing. So what we do is we ask for donations for toiletries, clothing, new, second-hand, and I will then go through the things, I will take out and I will put aside for them. And when they come, and I will tell them like, okay, here's a table.
You can choose.
Okay, that's nice. And I'm sure they must feel so special during this process, because now somebody is caring for them and showing them some love and attention, which often enough is lacking with broken homes and challenged communities as well. The approach to what you do, surely, do you get psychologists involved? Do you get professional people that come on board to give you advice?
So we partner with LeFem.
Okay.
So once we do our but we do our intake as to what's happening.
That's the one in Weinberg, right?
Yes. And then we refer them to LeFem. So we're working closely with LeFem.
Okay, so that in itself, I would solidify and maybe just formalize your process and what you do after they've been through that organization.
Yes.
Okay, which is always nice, because you also you want to assess that you're doing the right thing, and not causing more harm in the process, because I would imagine there's so many stages to how you would deal with a child that has gone through trauma.
Yes.
Do you find that they heal quickly? Do you find that it's a process that needs to happen?
It's a process that needs to happen, because we do our bit, So we do our part of the healing, the trauma, where we will take them through different steps.
Right.
But the difficult part is that when they go home, they need to go back into
yes,
that
the
environment.
So we're healing them on the one side, and
but you still have to go back to
yes,
the
you still
initial.
have to go back to.
So is this now a whole retraining program starting all over, or do you find that they can still heal as you go along with them?
Well, some of them they can heal as we go along, and some of them it's like a cycle going over and over.
Gosh, yeah. Well, hats off to you guys as a team for enduring, because it must be,
very
hectic,
challenging.
challenging
yes.
for the organization to have to deal with this. We're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we'll put the WhatsApp line on screen as well if you would like to assist in any way with the Alcardo Andrews Foundation. If you feel you've got a skill set, or if you could provide funding, please send us a WhatsApp and we'll pass that on to you as well. Thanks for watching us on Channel 347 on Hilaal Live. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for watching us. As you know, humanitarian assistance and NPOs do so much in our beautiful country. And one such NPO that we've decided to invite into studio is the Alcardo Andrews Foundation, based here in Hanover Park in Cape Town. In studio, we've got Gakeemah Solomon's back, and also Zaida Andrews from the Alcardo Andrews Foundation. Thanks, ladies, for joining us. Really appreciate it. We're getting to know so much about the wonderful work that you do. And I want to bring Gakeemah in with regards to maybe highlighting some of the other work that you do and the projects that you do as well.
Just before the break, we also just touched on the Fathers Workshop. So you mentioned that, within the community that you work, there's a whole lot of gangsterism, drugs, and all of those factors. Getting the fathers involved, what is the type of programs that you people introduce to the community fathers?
Okay, so the father program that we run is where we have of the young fathers and even of the older fathers that would sign up for the program, and
people my age, basically,
yes,
the older ones, yes.
and mostly the younger ones. So we will give them a platform where they can speak about how they were raised, the challenges they went through, how they have been raised without a father figure.
Okay.
So we give them that platform to express themselves, and then from there we will take it where we will work with those fathers, give them support, show them the responsibilities of a father figure, and we help them to be a father to their little ones, to how to father their kids. So it's a whole program where we work with them to work with the kids, to be there for the kids, to know what the responsibility is, how to take care of the responsibility, because they were raised with no responsibilities. Most of them had to raise themselves,
find their own way,
so they don't have that connection of how to be a father to the
I like that, because now you're breaking that cycle, of single mother homes or absent fathers, or sharing the responsibility as well. And it may be mundane to you and I, because we feel that we are doing our job, or to an extent, but it needs to be told. A program like this is essential because there's something missing.
Yes.
Okay, great. And what are some of the other programs you guys do?
So we also have the Moms Move for Justice.
Okay.
That is where we support mothers that has lost kids due to gang violence.
Oh, okay.
We also support them with court support. So we would find out when the court cases is and what's happening, and we will go to court and we will support the family with the court support. And we also have healing dialogues where we will have the mothers that come in. We have them sit around, have coffee, some muffins and things, and that is where the healing journey starts.
Well, sometimes a lot of females would feel at the end of the day that my problem is my problem. But when they actually go out in the community, they get to find that you're actually having a similar problem and mine's actually not that big. So within communities like that, it actually works to have the healing program and having everybody come together and express themselves.
Expressing themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are some of the success stories that have come out of the various programs that you've done?
Okay, so with the youth programs, we had a young boy that dropped out of school, and because of his behavior or stories that were told about him, the other schools in the community wouldn't
want to accept him.
Yes. And then Auntie Avril, she worked with his mother, and they had appointments, looking for schools, going around, getting help, and he is back into school. He's back into school, and so he's doing very well in school, and that is a boy that wanted to be in school.
Right.
And then we have one of our youth girls that was also not registered properly by her guardians.
Right.
And she was a year at home, and she's supposed to start grade 8 in 2002, and she was for the whole year at home. And last year she came every day, like school started already, the first term started already, and she came and I want to go to school, I do not want to sit at home. And we tried almost everything. And then I told her, don't you think you must just be this year at home again, and we can try for next year? And she said, Auntie Zaida, I'm not gonna stay at home. I want to go to school. She had tears in her eyes, and I'm thinking to myself, what do we do now? And I just went to Auntie Avril and I said, Auntie Avril, I know you're not feeling well now, but we need to, can you please do something? She called the WCD, and she gave some history about the learner. And then she said, okay, the other lady just said, like, give me 5 minutes, I'll call you back now. In 5 minutes time, she called back and she said, can you please ask the girl to be at Crystal High the next morning?
Brilliant.
And we went out to her. She was sitting under the carport, and we went out to her and we said, you're going to school tomorrow.
Brilliant. She must have been overjoyed.
She had tears in her eyes. She didn't know, must she cry, must she smile, she was like,
it's a new journey.
Yes, and like, I need a school bag, I need this, I need and we actually gathered everything.
Stunning.
For her to start a school
journey. It must have been
journey.
such a wonderful feeling as well. But I would imagine that with all the projects that you do, there's funding that's needed. How do you get the funds to survive?
That is the challenging part now, because we are not funded. So we do get donations. We do get dry donations.
All right.
We get Uthando SA. They have been donating to us.
All right.
And we do have a sponsor at the moment that has been sponsoring us with the food that we feed every day. So they've been sponsoring us since 2016.
Okay. Now, how do people get hold of you if they would like to come on board and assist your organization? Because you're doing wonderful work in the community. It's not just feeding, but you seem to the social aspects of our community, which is vital, right? How do people get hold of you if they would like to do that?
So we do have our website that they can look up, and on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Okay. And what are those handles? Alcardo Foundation?
Alcardo Andrews Foundation.
Okay. Alcardo Andrews Foundation. Or you can use the WhatsApp line. Send me a WhatsApp and I'll pass the message on to Zaida as well. Gakeemah, working with organizations like this, you've worked with quite a few.
For me, the challenging part is basically the child that needs to go back home, and the fact that you try and bring that small difference, which is very huge, into their hearts and their lives. But the fact that they need to go back. The other challenging part for me is when they are determined and you are wanting to give them that help and always assist where you can. For me, that's the brilliant thing, and it breaks my heart to see that within communities like this, you people try and do so much work feeding children on a daily basis, weekly basis. And at the end of the day, in communities like a Nova Park, for example, there's much needed programs that is needed within our communities, and you guys are offering that. So
well done. So for those that would like to start communities like you, or NPOs like yourself, and assist communities, what should they keep in mind? Because what keeps you motivated to wake up in the morning and do what you do?
For me, what keeps me motivated is that I have a passion working with kids.
Right.
I've always had a passion working with kids. So we like to serve them with love, with dignity.
Lovely.
And also to remember that you're not doing this for yourself or for a name or to be seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you're doing the work of God. You're serving the people of the community.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are times that you must think, I'm tired now. I need a break. But surely there's work to be done every day. Do you have a big team that helps?
At the moment, we have about 3 to 4 volunteers.
Okay.
And that's also a challenging part because those volunteers also need to go to put the pot of food on for their families. And so because we're not funded, it's a bit challenging.
Okay.
But with our donations, our small donations that we get vegetables, we get bread, sandwiches. So we make up parcels on a weekly basis to give to our volunteers, and
so that they can also
provide for the families. Yes.
Okay, so the WhatsApp numbers on the screen. I hope our viewers are watching this, can contribute, can assist, and be part of your organization. Thank you so much for all that you do, and may it grow from strength to strength.
Thank you.
Gakeemah, thanks so much for coming into studio and chatting about organizations that do so much. Our viewers, if you are able to assist, Alcardo Andrews Foundation is who we had in studio. Do WhatsApp or get hold of them on their socials to assist. That's all that we have for you from the Cape Town studio. Sohail Barnes, also from Mohammed Parker, and myself, Luqman Shadrack. Have a great evening. Assalamu alaikum.